it seems more than a dream. Chuck E. Cheese, where a kid can be a kid.
Chuck E. Cheese, where a kid can be a kid. This is the most popular tagline associated with the Chuck E. Cheese restaurant, and it's been used consistently for over 35 years. But that was actually not the first major ad campaign and tagline used. For that, we'll have to go back to before the merger occurred between Showbiz Pizza Place and Pizza Time Theater in 1985.
When you're hungry for fun, it's Chuck E. Cheese. When you're hungry for fun, it's Chuck E. Cheese.
Not that one. We have to go back even earlier than that.
Food and games and all kinds of features. For a taste of Pizza Time Theater, you can smile America, smile America. You can smile America with Chuck E. Cheese.
Even though that's a beloved vintage one, there still is an earlier campaign.
Showbiz Pizza Place with over 60 electronic games, pizza baked fresh every day, and the stage show extravaganza on 3 stages.
So come for pizza, stay for the fun.
And that isn't even the right restaurant chain. So what was the original advertising campaign for Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater? We'll explore and explain on today's episode of Pizza Time. Hi everyone, welcome to the first installment of Pizza Time. My name is Tabitha. I've been a big fan of Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza for a couple years. I'm an animatronic collector myself, and I wanted to make this series along with ShowbizPizza.com to showcase some parts of Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza history. These videos are going to be short segments and deep dives into history of various topics, both ones that are known and unknown. Big variety of stuff that's accessible to fans and also non-fans. We want it to be interesting for everybody and not drag on for too long, something that anybody can really watch. Lots of topics, and we're going to be focusing a lot on the history and context of everything too, so it all makes sense. With that, we're going to try to get right to the point. So today we are going to talk about the first topic, the first ever ad campaign of Pizza Time Theater, the Great All-American Pizza Show. To begin our search, we started with the earliest known company newsletter, the Pizza Times, which in its inaugural issue in December of 1979 still didn't even have a proper title. At this point in time, Pizza Time Theater only had 6 stores up and running, but was looking to schedule the opening of approximately 2 stores a month going forward. Much of that was likely based on the co-development agreement with Bob Brock to open 285 Pizza Time stores throughout the Midwest by 1984, a huge deal even at the time, which Bushnell had previously characterized as, quote, probably the largest franchise deal ever signed in the United States, end quote. This agreement, of course, deteriorated very quickly, with Brock breaking away to form Showbiz Pizza Place prior to the opening of his first Pizza Time Theater restaurant. But even at this point, with just a handful of operating stores, Pizza Time Theater was hard at work with advertising to support its budding empire. On page 3 of a December 1979 Pizza Times issue, there's a mention of an animated television spot, advertising for birthday parties and running on local stations. This animated commercial, as of this time, is lost media, with only a few surviving animation cells remaining. Although we don't know a great deal about this lost early commercial, we do know that the artwork and storyboards were done by Lee Mars, who also did the art for 1979's Rat Tales comic book. Mars has stated that the commercial was animated by a local San Francisco animation company called Colossal Pictures. Although this lost animated commercial is the earliest mentioned advertisement that can be found in a company newsletter, another source mentioning an ad campaign is known to exist. This one from around a year earlier, the original Pizza Time Theater franchise brochure. To give a brief background on what this is and why it exists, we need to cover a little bit of the company history. Pizza Time Theater opened its first location in May of 1977 as a division of Atari Inc., which at the time was itself a subsidiary of Warner Communications. The original store opened on Winchester Boulevard in San Jose, California, as a prototype. Although Warner wasn't interested in the concept, they agreed to build the store to test the waters. During the first year of operation, negotiations took place with Don Marks, a vice president of Holiday Inns, Inc., to co-develop Pizza Time Theater. The initial plans called for Atari to handle the video games and character aspect of the restaurant, while Holiday Inn would manage the restaurant and food side of the equation. These negotiations went on for quite a while, but eventually Holiday Inns backed out. Once they were out, Warner Communications wanted out and planned to shut down the single operating location in San Jose. Nolan Bushnell still believed the restaurant concept had promise and convinced Warner Communications to sell him the concept in June of 1978 for $500,000. He immediately established Pizza Time Theater as its own company, and one of his first moves was to hire Don Marks away from Holiday Inn to start up the franchise division. That's where this franchise brochure comes into play. It's undated, but based on its contents, we can determine that it was released sometime in late 1978 or early 1979, around the time of the opening of the second Pizza Time Theater location on Coosa Road, also in San Jose. This opened in December of 1978. This brochure was, of course, a promotional document, which was designed to attract potential franchisees. Inside the brochure, there's a mention of advertising that's already prepped and ready for franchisees to use to market their own restaurant. It states, quote, "A full media advertising and marketing plan is ready to support you, including 30 to 60-second TV spots, radio spots, ad slicks, painted outdoor designs, and complete merchandising packages." Accompanying it is an image of audio and video reels, and a variety of paper materials featuring artwork that's even earlier than the art used on the front of this franchise brochure. In fact, this artwork was likely prepped when only the prototype location was operating, as the illustration of Chuck E. Cheese is based on an animatronic that was running in the Winchester store, and the art also features Krusty the Cat, an early character that only existed in the first location. But aside from the differences in the artwork, the promotional materials shown contains the same slogan that was featured on the front of the franchise brochure, the Great All-American Pizza Show. So based on this very early piece of printed Chuck E. Cheese history, we can determine that the title of the first ad campaign for Pizza Time Theater was known as the Great All-American Pizza Show. Well, here in this first episode of Pizza Time, we actually have a surprise to share with all the audience. Through some connections, we were able to find the original 60-second radio spot that has been lost for over 40 years and was only played over the local radio stations in California. We'll play it now, and this is the first time anybody has heard it in a long time. We're now presenting the Great All-American Pizza Show.
Pizza Time Theater presents the most incredible pizza place in the world. Okay, people, here we go to the Great All-American Pizza Show. Your MC is Chuck E. Cheese, I'm better known as the Big C. I'll be there with all my pals like Mr. Munch and Jasper Charles.
It's Chuck E. Cheese and the Pizza Time Players, now at either Pizza Time Theater, in the Winchester Town and Country Shopping Center, or on Coosa Avenue at Blossom Hill Road, where you can see Dolly Dimples, the famous singing hippo. Come on family nights, Monday through Thursday, when there are free extra tokens for electronic games and racing cars, and no waiting to play your favorite game.
And we got sandwiches and salad bar, pizza games and racing cars. So come on, gang, let's go, go, go to the Great All-American Pizza Show. Come on in to Pizza Time Theater. Pizza's never been so much fun.
There's a lot to unpack here for only being 60 seconds of audio. But it's interesting to note that the voice of Chuck E. Cheese is not John Whitlock, who voiced the character from 1977 to 1984. In fact, it sounds as if Chucky is being voiced by the actor who portrayed Krusty the Cat.
Remember, Krusty, if you want to be a star, you gotta do everything just like I tell you.
Sure thing, Big C. Can I continue my act now?
Yeah, all right.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Who am I doing an expression of now?
What do you think? Let us know in the comments below who the voice actor could be. It's common for brands to change up their advertising throughout the years. It's just part of the industry. And Chuck E. Cheese has been around for over 40 years, so of course they'd create several different ones. But it's amazing how one can be lost for so long, only being mentioned in old promotional materials and never being uploaded anywhere online. It's just crazy how much can be found and shared, stuff that only existed in people's memories for so long. But that's the point of this channel, to document and share some of these more obscure pieces of this media. We hope you enjoyed the first episode of Pizza Time. You can go ahead and subscribe to see the future episodes here on this channel. Some of the fans may already be subscribed to this channel because we've been sharing stuff on the showbizpizza.com website for a long time. This is where all the episodes are going to be, though, and we'll also go ahead and upload raw audio in separate videos for anybody who wants to hear it. Lastly, before we end, we want to send our support to our good friend, Matt the Franchise. That's what this M logo is. Recently, he had all of his social media hacked and most of it was deleted. So he hasn't really been in a good place lately, and we just want to lend our support. He's been a supporter of the website for many years and a longtime friend of Travis. So we just want to send out our love because he's been a great guy to us. So be on the lookout for future episodes. If you got any ideas, leave them in the comments, but we've got a lot of ideas coming. There's going to be lots of new content, so just keep an eye out. Goodbye.